Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back to the Uncle Sharma channel. How are you guys doing? It's an early match preview on a Thursday. We're playing on Sunday morning for me here, 11:30 a.m. kickoff in the UK. But I'm doing it a little bit early because I'm actually away this weekend, so I won't have time tomorrow or Saturday. And so there won't be an instant match reaction as well on Sunday. So if you guys on Sunday wondering where I am I won't be able to react straight away. I'll probably react like maybe 6 or 7 hours later after the match, just because I'm away this weekend. But yeah, what's good, guys? Who's in the house? We got obviously Biggie, the man in the house. He's always in there because he has his notifications on, because he's a smart guy. Kuro Black as well, another one of the regulars. Razor of Orion as well. Royal Gaming, what's up, man? Thank you for joining for this Inter versus Sampdoria match preview after the international break. It always feels so long, doesn't it? The international break is always just like, And then there's going to be another one next month in about 3 or 4 weeks time. There's going to be another one. Here we go, another big regular of the channel as well, Mr. Tommy Adeola. We got White Suburban Kid. Funny username. King Darian, of course. He's the king of the channel. Sup, Uche. Let me go through some quick news before we go into the match preview. Enjoy my staycation. Thank you, Ahmad. Nick Snock's in the house as well, of course. All the regulars in the house, man. All the people that deserve a shout out are here. Let me quickly share my screen with you guys and show you some of the news that need to be covered off. We talked about Lautaro already, of course. Lautaro, apparently the contract renewal should be official next week, so he's away on international duty at the moment with Argentina. And Tutto Sport is not the best source, but still, it looks like it should be pretty much done, because once the agent has said it, it's if the agent says it, it's pretty much done. His new contract will run until 2025. We'll probably see him earn around 6 million. We'll see what the final figures will be, with additional bonuses, of course. The pays depend on his and the club's performances. And the release clause, there used to be a release clause in the contract, will no longer be included, which is good. So if he performs really well, his value could increase even more than that. So that's great news to tie down Lautaro. Whatever you think of Lautaro, I know some people are not as big fans of him as I might be, and as many others are. But after everything that's happened at Inter in the summer, you just need to, even if he's going to stay for one season, you just need to make sure that he's tied down. You keep his value as high as possible, so you can sell him for a higher price, and you keep him happy as well. You make him the main man. You tell him, you got the number 10, LM10. He's the real LM10 now. No more Lionel Messi 10. He's LM30 now. This is LM10. So, big news for Lautaro, who's recently become a father as well, maturing into a great player, hopefully this season as well. So we'll see what happens there. What else is there to cover? Let me see the latest news. Marcelo Brozovic as well. Apparently there's going to be more contract talks with Marcelo Brozovic. His dad is actually the agent. He's got a bit of a funny situation. How Icardi used to have his wife as his agent. So a lot of players do have family members as their agent. There's the person that they can trust, really. Once again, Tutto Sport, not the most reliable of sources, but it looks like they haven't actually had a official meeting yet, or any proper meeting, but it looks like the talks have started, and there will be a meeting in the coming weeks or days over a new deal that he wants around. Hakan's come in. I think Hakan is on around 4.5 million a season, so he wants that kind of Hakan money, which makes sense. This guy has been consistently one of the best midfielders in Serie A, and he deserves that kind of money. And we've seen what's going on in Milan with Kessie, who's asking for 7.5, 8 million. So we're quite lucky that this guy's not being crazy with his demands. And he's quite a hot topic as well, because he has only 1 year left. So if they don't manage to renew it, he will leave on a free at the end of the season. So it's quite important to sort it out. Like, in my opinion, with Brozovic, I'm pretty 50-50. Like, he's been here for a long time, and I feel like he is a position that you could probably improve in, but it would cost you a lot of money. But at the same time, he's hard to refine someone that's going to cover the ground like this guy. And he's pretty much an Interista through and through now. Antonio Conte had him pretty much as vice captain as well in the last couple of seasons, so he's a very important part of the dressing room as well. But we've seen against like the Verona match, he can have those matches where nothing seems to click sometimes. But love the guy, such a crazy character, and hopefully we managed to agree on a new contract once again. I'm not saying he needs to stay at Inter for life, but just agreeing a new contract just gives Inter a better hold whenever it comes to negotiating if someone wants to buy him off us. But that's the thing with Brozovic. He's never really attracted too much interest to Brozovic when you think about it. No one's really come in seriously. There's been talks of like Man United been interested. There's talks of Everton maybe when Ancelotti was there. Spurs even sometimes. Obviously Sevilla, the famous 2 or 3 seasons ago before Spalletti really put him in that regista position that he almost left. But there's never really been too much interest with Brozovic, and I can understand why. And he didn't really do himself any good this summer at the Euros. He had a pretty bad Euros. I mean, against England, I still remember how he had a really stinker. He had a big stinker of a match against England. And I remember a lot of English fans, a lot of Man United fans were watching Brozovic closely that match, and they weren't impressed, quite rightly. So I guess he kind of did it in Inter favor. No one's really come in for him. So yeah, he can't really demand too much. You can demand a lot if you've got demand for you, but he doesn't really seem to ever had that much of a crazy demand for him. But I hope he stays, man. I hope he stays, Marcelo. This crazy guy, epic Brozo. One of the funniest characters we've ever seen. We got us in the house as well. Mohamed in the house. Orsato Handy Sampdoria. Oh yeah, we need to speak about that Orsato. So the referee Orsato, who's going to be officiating the match. Let me pull up a picture of him if you don't remember what he looks like. Daniele Orsato. He hasn't refereed an Inter match in over 3 years now. He's considered to be one of the best referees in Serie A, and he referees in the Champions League as well. He's a highly rated referee. I'm sure you recognize him, but the reason why he hasn't refereed Inter matches, and it is painful looking at this once again, reminding of this, but the famous Rafinha Pjanic incident where Pjanic was already on a yellow card. Inter Juventus, Inter lost that match. Was it 3-2? Wasn't it in the end? And yeah, this guy completely. And then look how close he is to the action. He's literally right there, bro. He's like 2 meters away. And then he was asked about it recently, and he admitted to his mistake, which is probably the reason why he's back to officiating Inter, because he admitted to the mistake that he said that he was too close, but. I mean, that's not a good excuse that you were too close. I mean, if you were that close, you should have felt the impact of Pjanic clattering into Rafinha. But yeah, he was on yellow card. He wasn't given that double yellow for some reason. And this match on Sunday is going to finally return to refereeing Inter. And I'm not too much into the, conspiracy theories about refereeing and things like that. But yeah, when you've literally been taken off refereeing Inter, it is a little bit shady, and it doesn't look good. But hopefully, fingers crossed, maybe he tries to make up for his mistake that he had all those years ago. He tries to make up for it and tries to, I'm not saying gift us a win, but at least if there's any penalty calls for Sampdoria, if Candreva has a penalty shout, that he maybe just looks the other way. So hopefully, Mohamed, you're wrong, but I wouldn't be surprised with Orsato. What I make of the Tolisso rumors? Yeah, I mean, of course, free agents are becoming more and more prevalent these days because of how, players have much more power, agents have much more power. We've seen how many more free agents there are these days, and Tolisso on a free transfer is an interesting move for sure. But his time at Bayern Munich has been marred by injuries. He's been very injury prone. So that's one big worry, and I'm not sure how much he's earning. I haven't looked into his wages at Bayern Munich, but I'm sure he's earning quite a nice salary. And at the moment, as the Inter situation is, let's not forget, with all these contract renewals, our wage budget, even though we've managed to decrease it this summer because of getting rid of players like Lukaku and other players, but it's gonna go back up to that kind of level again because all these renewals, like Lautaro is pretty much tripling his salary. Brozovic is going to be substantially increased. If the right renews, that's going to be a substantial increase. Skriniar also looking to renew. So, and Tolisso, our midfielder Barella, let's not forget Barella is a big priority. He's only earning like 2.5 million. I'm sure he's going to be at least earning double. So you're going to have Brozovic, Barella both earning around at least 5 million each net. Hakan's earning around 4.5 million as well. So it's already quite an expensive midfield. And if you bring in Tolisso, unless you're certain that you want to make him the starter of your midfield, that's starting to be a very it's starting to be quite expensive team in terms of wages. And I don't think that's the right move. Again, I know free transfers always sound good because it's a free transfer, but we've seen when you have such high wages, it's difficult to get rid of players. We've seen with Juve, with Rabiot on their books, when they had Matuidi, when they had Khedira, now with Ramsey. When you load these free transfers with high wages, Emre Can, especially recently as well, like they always sound really good, and it's fine if you're able to pay it. Like if you're PSG and you got this like cash flow that's coming in, and Inter a couple of years ago it was fine, but right now I'm not sure. And especially, as I said, with his injury record, Tolisso, he's still at a good age. I think he's still only like 24, 25. Like he's still really young because he broke through at Lyon so early. So and from what I remember, we were linked with him even when he was at Lyon. I think Auxilio has been a big fan. Marotta, when he was at Juventus, before Bayern Munich signed him, Juventus were really interested in Tolisso as well when Marotta was there. So I'm not surprised that Inter are being strongly linked with Tolisso. But as I said, the wages and the injury issue, I'll have to look into what his wages are at the moment. So, but yeah, sounds good, but probably not as feasible as we think. Franco said we'll have a problem with Orsato there. I hope not, bro. I hope not. Tommy, yeah, I've seen your comments a few times. You're not a big fan of Brozo. He is. I think over the years he's won over majority of the fan base, but he still has some people that have never really converted into full Brozovic fans, and I can understand why. To be honest, I'm personally a fan, but I can see why people are not. Vidal, Vecino, Gallia, Sensi should all leave next season. How should Sensi but give up on the guy? Yeah. Vidal, I think he only has one more year. So this Vidal's contract ends this end of the season. So that we get rid of that salary. I think Vecino's contract is expiring as well, if I'm not incorrect. I'm not sure what Gagliardini's is, but yeah, Sensi we'll see. So there is also some outgoing salaries as well, true. But yeah, we'll have to see. I haven't really made those. I haven't really looked into it too much. We'll have to see. Brozovic to Milan, Kessie to Inter. Ooh. I mean, we've been talking about Kessie to Inter. Imagine Brozovic to. Oh my days, that would be rioting, man. That would be rioting. That would be riots. I wouldn't even put it past Brozovic, even though I said he's like through and through Interista, but he's that crazy, that guy. That I feel like it would be something that he would do. Ricky Buzz in the house as well. He's giving us his prediction already. 4-1 to Inter. Yeah, we'll get into the match predictions and stuff soon, bro. Yeah, man, it's been a minute since you've been on the live. Hey, Samir in the house as well. Brozo to us is like Makelele in Madrid. He's barely noticed, but crucial to our style of play. We should keep him unless he's asking for more than 5 million a year. Yeah, for sure. I want to keep him, but if he's, doing what Kessie's doing in Milan, then get rid. But I think, as I said, I think he deserves, if he is asking for 5.5, that's very, very much, he deserves that kind of money. And that's the situation Inter are in. All these guys are actually kind of earning less than their counterparts, are earning. They're looking across the across the city and they're seeing Rabiot earning, you know, triple what you, or like Brozovic looking at Rabiot earning triple what you, and you're like, bro. So it makes sense for these guys to, you know, get their pay rise for sure. Brozovic is the inverse of Perisic, great for Inter, trash for Croatia. I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, he was pretty good at the World Cup, but yeah, I think that especially at the Euros, I don't watch Croatia on a regular basis, so you might be right. But yeah, at the Euros, he's definitely stinking out, and Perisic as usual, Cristiano Ronaldo level. Can't believe they let that prick Orsato officiate him to match again. Hey man, it's been 3 years, so hopefully, I mean, after a 3-year break. Odds on Candreva scoring from outside the box with Samir trying to block the shot with his laser eyes. 1-1, like whatever's the best odd. I'm not really a betting man, so I don't even know how it works. But yeah, whatever odds on that something like that is going to happen. Candyman Candreva from outside the box, pinging it, and Handanovic mannequin challenge. Inter is heavily linked with Ajax goalkeeper Onana. Yeah, we've talked about it in the last few live streams. It's it makes sense. That's a free transfer that makes a lot of sense if it happens. You know, decent wages. Guy is really good with his feet. Good shot stopper. You know, hasn't played for a while because of the ban. So, you know, I'm not saying he's the best choice out there, but financially, age-wise, everything, I think it makes sense. So I hope it does happen. I hope Onana does come in. Bayern fans don't rate him. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying about Tolisso. Is like his injuries have really halted his development. Yeah, we'll get into the lineups as well. He's 27. He's a little bit older than I thought, actually. Thank you for pointing out. But yeah, that's your peak age. I say we should get a Brozo replacement, maybe risky on Agume. Brozovic a liability. I don't know. I wouldn't say he's a liability as far as that, but he can have his off moments for sure. His brain dead moments. I don't know about Agume, man. We'll see. He's gone to Brest this season, so we'll keep an eye on him, how he's doing in Ligue 1. But as I said, I really like Agume on the ball, but off the ball, the boy needs a lot of work. So yeah, I'm not gonna close the door on Agume, but you can't just put it on Agume now, just straight after Brozovic. No worries, Ziza, bro. No worries. You can join whenever you want. You can rewatch. Gallia won't leave. I think this guy's gonna be at Inter for life. 6.5 is acceptable for Brozo. Yeah, I mean, that becomes, yeah, I guess he can go up to that kind of level, but then he's 29 years old. I think that's a little bit expensive for him, but you know, who are we to say these kind of things? Brozo, yeah, we don't want to lose that Brozo Barella bromance. That keeps the dressing room going for sure. Yeah, Perisic is a free. He's going to be a free transfer. There's not been any rumors of any contract talks with him either, because he is on like 5.5 or 4.5. He's quite on a hefty wage. He thought he was the only one who scored Candreva Candyman. Now, man, on Twitter he's known as Candyman. You know, Tony Candrew, Tony Candreva. You know, there's many names for that guy. What a funny character that guy still is. My opinion on our lone defender Zinho Vanheusden. Yeah. Roberto Martinez, the Belgium coach, talked about him yesterday. He was asked about him because he didn't start for Belgium in the international break, and he said, "Don't worry, guys, he will start soon." He wanted to keep giving the faith to the current defenders, and he said, "I'm expecting him to improve in Serie A this year. You know, getting 20 games in this, at least 20 games this season in Serie A will help him." Which I agree. I think the Genoa move is one of the best moves that he could have possibly made. You know, in the Serie A. Not relegation battling, hopefully getting regular-ish minutes. It looks like, you know, he's started pretty much every game, I think, the last couple of games. So, yeah, definitely want to keep an eye out on. If he's getting called up to the Belgium team, as I always said, like this clearly. I've never actually watched him play apart from the match where we played against them and the Napoli match. So I am really watching him closely when I tune into Genoa, and I'm going to tune into Genoa just to watch him. And I wouldn't be surprised, because let's not forget D'Ambrosio's contract, I believe, expires at the end of this season. Ranocchia as well. So there is going to be spaces. Kolarov's going to leave. So there's going to be definitely space for that backup centre-back spots. And he signed a long-term deal with Inter when we re-signed them. So I think he's definitely in line to be one of the replacements. So I I hope, fingers crossed, no more serious injuries for the guys, because 2 ACLs is very, very difficult to come back from. It's great Zinho's on the Belgian national team, bro. Belgian national team. I'm sorry if I said Dutch by mistake, maybe. But yeah, let's get into the match preview, guys, for Inter versus Sampdoria, or Sampdoria versus Inter. I'm gonna get so this is the Sky Sports predicted lineups, and because I am doing this a bit early, usually the more accurate lineups would come out, in more towards Friday, Saturday. So at the moment they're having the pretty much unchanged lineup apart from Sensi up front, because as you guys might have seen, the Brazil versus Argentina match, that drama that kicked off about those Brazil players who broke COVID protocol and all that kind of stuff, but also in general, even without that, the Argentina guys, and the Chile guys and Uruguay guys, they're coming back on Friday afternoon apparently, or Friday evening even. So they're literally only going to train with the team, even if they do that on Saturday. So I really struggle to see, Lautaro, Correa, Vidal, Vecino, all of those guys. I struggle to see them starting. They might play a part in the match for sure, but I really don't see Inzaghi risking those guys, after the jet lag, after, the sleep, changing the sleep pattern, having not really trained with the team, not having really rested. I don't think Inzaghi is going to risk any of those guys. So his Sky Sports are going for a pretty much unchanged lineup. The guys at the back, Bastoni finally got some minutes for Italy against Lithuania yesterday, and he was good. And yeah, he confirmed that he's fine as well. There were some rumors about him getting injured in international duty, but he's fine. De Vrij, shouts out to De Vrij, man. He's displaced quite rightly, finally, De Ligt in the national team. He's deserved it for a while. Louis van Gaal come in and said, he's my starting centre back with Van Dijk. And yeah, I think he's so underrated, De Vrij. He's deserved it for a while, and he's performed well from what I saw with Holland, with the Netherlands. Skriniar, of course, he's a mainstay with Slovakia. So all of these guys have got some minutes. Bastoni is probably the more rested one of those, but I struggle to see any rotation. Obviously, we have to think about the Real Madrid match, guys. Let's not forget the Real Madrid match on Wednesday. So Inter playing Sunday, and then Wednesday, Real Madrid. So Inzaghi is going to have to think about some sort of rotation there. So I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be against it, honestly, to put someone like, because Skriniar has played a lot of minutes. He's played all the matches for Inter. He's played all the matches, I believe, for Slovakia. If D'Ambrosio comes in for Skriniar, or even, if the scoreline is going well, just to give Skriniar a little bit of rest. With Bastoni, would definitely not. I think Bastoni is going to stay on because he's had enough rest. And so backline wise, and of course Handanovic, until we'll see how that develops throughout the season. We've said we'll see if Inzaghi is willing to risk Radu or Kodas. So let me know what you guys think about the backline. Would you rotate the backline? Would you keep it as it is? Midfield wise, they've gone with an unchanged lineup. Brozovic, I think he's played quite a lot for Croatia, but we know Brozovic. We don't really have a vice Brozovic, which is a little bit of an issue in the team. There's a few players that can play that role. Barella can play that role. Vecino, Vidal, Gagliardini, they could all play that role, but there's no real vice Brozovic in the team. And Hakan, who's seemed like he had a decent international break, apart from when Holland smashed Turkey. He's going to come in, so it looks like this is Inzaghi's preferred midfield trio at the moment. And then Perisic, Darmian should be again the wing backs, but there's also rumors of Di Marco starting because of the Real Madrid match, and I think it makes sense in the wing back position because it's such a demanding position. You have to cover so much ground. I think if you start Di Marco against Sampdoria and then you bring in the experience of Perisic against Real Madrid, Champions League match, I think that probably is a better move. And there's rumors of something similar happening on the right hand side. So keeping Darmian, who's he didn't go on international duty. So starting Darmian against Sampdoria and then bringing in Dumfries, who has Champions League experience, has a bit more international experience. He is fresh as well. He's finally got some minutes under his legs with the Netherlands. Sorry. So there's talks of Dumfries being rotated into the Real Madrid match, and once again, yeah, I'm quite for that. I would like to see that happening. I think Dumfries in the Champions League could be a good way to start integrating him. And up front, Sky Sports at the moment have the Dzeko and the Sensi partnership, like we did against Genoa. Sensi, poor guy. There was rumors of him being injured on international duty with Italy, but he came out with an Instagram post saying that he's fine. There's nothing wrong with him. So it looks like he's ready to start. There's again every match we have to cross fingers with Sensi, just hoping that he doesn't get injured. But there's also talk of Martin Satriano starting. So yeah, you guys let me know what your thoughts are on those. Let's see what you guys are saying. Now Biggie can't wait for Dumfries to start. He's been balling out in the national team. Yeah, it looks like he has been doing quite well in the national team. Is it true Satriano was left out of the Champions League squad? Yeah, but that's when the Champions League squad is tricky because he's into youth, but he's only been at Inter for 1 year, or this is the second year, so he's technically, I think he can't be on the UEFA A list, so you have those different bands. So if he was at Inter for a little bit longer, he would have been included in like that youth player bit that you can include people in. But that's just how it is. It's quite. Some people have to miss out on the Champions League list because you have to have only a certain amount of players, and you have to comply with the list. And that's why I said, that's why I always wanted him to go out on loan because I'm not sure if he's going to get the minutes. But apparently Inzaghi has asked for him to stay, so we'll see. Since he's reported to have calf issues, was sent home by Mancini. That he would start. Also reported Satriano impressing Inzaghi in trainings. Yeah, I agree. I've read about those. But from what I heard yesterday, since he took part in intensive training with the whole team, with the people that were trained at Appiano Gentile yesterday, and he took part in the full intensive running training. So it looks like he's gonna be fit. Yeah, I mean that's another certain bet that you can put your house on since he getting injured. Yeah, exactly. Since he said there's nothing wrong, so we'll see. You will see. Massive risk to play a starting level with a huge Champions League game in 3 days. Exactly. We have to start thinking about rotation when now the Champions League's coming in. I can't wait for the DiMarco Dumfries in the lineup. The double D's, double D's. Yeah, we can't go the Juve route for sure. I'm sure we can't want because Morata, he's smart. Yeah, I'm guessing you're talking about the wages and stuff. I think it's a 3-5-1-1 rather than a 3-5-2. Yep. Yeah, so let me quickly share my screen again. So I've done a little quick tactical board for this match. So Sampdoria will be playing under D'Aversa. They play pretty much a flat 4-4-2, continuing as they did with Ranieri. Quite a similar type of coach, D'Aversa, since he's come in general. I think it's a good pickup from Sampdoria because you're not changing really the philosophy. Ranieri, very safe, very basic type of coach, and D'Aversa seems to be very similar. They actually played quite well against Milan in the first match. I watched the AC Milan versus Sampdoria match, and it was a difficult match for Milan. They didn't really create many chances, but they were ruthless with that one chance they created. But Sampdoria didn't really create many chances either. They kind of they fight hard. They really make it difficult they really make it compact in midfield. This 4-4-2 is very compact. They don't really give you much space to operate in. They work hard. They fight a lot. They make it difficult, but let's not forget they went a little bit of panic stations in the transfer window right at the end. They went for Ciccio Caputo. It was a big surprise move right on the final day, and there's rumored to be Ciccio Caputo and Quagliarella starting for them up front. So that's quite a dangerous front two. Thorsby was almost left for Atalanta as well, but he stayed. He's the midfield workhorse. But overall, it's not the greatest back line. Beredzinski is supposed to be out there starting right back, so De Pauli might be coming in. Yoshida and Colli are decent. Odero's a decent keeper as well. Augello's a decent defender, but he made a mistake for the Milan goal that they scored. Him against Calabria, he made a mistake which led them to score. So it's definitely a susceptible back line. And then obviously we got the main man, Tony Candreva on the right. We got to watch out for him. He's going to play, with the X-Files, we know how he is. Ex-Inter players against Inter. Last season he scored against us, as we expected. Him and at least Keita Balde is not there this time. He's at Cagliari now. But I'm expecting a big performance from big Antonio Candreva. And obviously Damsgaard, the other big danger man for Sampdoria. He's not been actually very impressive. And this is why, if you watch my videos of players to watch, one player to watch for each team, I picked Damsgaard for Sampdoria, but I said, I'm not sure this is the right team for him. I'm not sure if D'Aversa is the right guy for him. Ranieri really wasn't the right coach for him. He had him doing shuttles up and down the left wing. He hasn't really been able to thrive how he did at the Euros when he plays for Sampdoria. He shows flashes of it for Sampdoria, but he doesn't really. He's not in the Serie A. He's not really given that much space. He even plays next to Quagliarella at one point against Milan. I remember they made a substitution and he played kind of behind free role, but even there he didn't look that good. But he's definitely a player to watch out for. I remember he skinned Bastoni 1v1 for one of the goals that Sampdoria scored against us in that match that we lost. So it's definitely not a match to underestimate because Sampdoria were one of the few teams to beat us last year. Let's not forget that match where Alexis missed the penalty. We had so many chances. Keita scored, Candreva scored. So it's not going to be an easy match, but on paper we should be okay. And yeah, tactically we know what the deal is going to be. Whether it is Dimarco, I would prefer Dimarco over Perisic for sure. Especially with Candreva there. I think Candreva is going to be looking to attack. I think Dimarco is going to offer a little bit more attacking wise. Whereas with Perisic versus Candreva, I feel like those two kind of know each other too well. They know each other inside out. They played together for many years. So I need to remove Pinamonti from here. He's gone. So I hope Dimarco starts. As we said, I think some rotations are needed. But yeah, as you guys said, I am leaning towards Satriano starting instead of Sensi. It would be interesting. But we saw with Satriano, the way he came on in that Genoa match, he looked very shell-shocked and, kind of nervous. But I know it didn't work out great against Genoa, but in preseason he looked really good in this role, Sensi, and it gives us so much. You can really dominate the midfield in like a 3-5-1-1. Because Sampdoria likes to pack that midfield. So I would prefer to start Sensi, but hopefully Satriano does get a half an hour, 25, 30 minutes to impress. And as you guys have said, apparently Inzaghi is impressed by Satriano, and he himself asked for Satriano to stay because Crotone asked for Satriano on a loan, and he said, and quite rightly, I was saying the same, if it's a Serie B type of loan, maybe just leave it. If it's someone a little bit higher level, even if it's abroad in Belgium or Holland, then yeah. But Serie B, he might as well leave it and let him have some time. And this is his chance, with the guys like Correa and Lautaro coming back late, probably not in great position physically and mentally to start. This is probably one of the few matches where he could get, until the Coppa Italia matches or until someone is injured or suspended. This is really one of the few times that he could get, some meaningful minutes. So I do hope he gets some time. What do you guys make on the right? Darmian or Dumfries? Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I wish for Satriano to start. Abubakar says, I don't like Italian mentality of not giving the youngster opportunities. Yeah, but it's funny, but it's like we saw Satriano. He had a great preseason, but that's preseason, guys. It's against Crotone and these types of teams. And then when he came on against Genoa, we saw that he was super nervous, and his touch, he just seems very. There's a reason why these guys must be not given, like, when people are not given a chance. There's always some sort of reason for it. But I'm sure if Inzaghi's asked for him to stay, he will be given a chance. But we are quite stacked up front. Let's not forget. And personally, I do like Sensi. He didn't play great against Genoa, I admit, but having that kind of 3-6-1 almost, you can dominate the midfield really, really nicely. So I am in favor of Sensi starting. The first 10 matches, the most important matches in the season, to remove all the doubts surrounding the club. Yeah, you have to. I mean, I think the doubt has already been removed now with the first 2 matches, but you have to keep going now. Netherlands defensive duos last 3 games: De Vrij, Van Dijk, De Vrij, De Ligt, De Vrij, Van Dijk. Yeah, Stefan and Milan both deserve a rest. Yeah, they do, but it's one of those where it's like, do you want to heavily rotate already? Because usually the rotations start to come in a little bit later when you've had the Champions League and then you have another one. So usually this first match and then Champions League is usually you keep the similar team and then the rotations start. But Inzaghi at Lazio was known to be quite a rotator. Sampdoria deserve at least a draw against Milan. Yeah, they didn't really create too much, to be fair, but they did play quite well, and Milan wasn't overly impressive. Ekdal scored his only actor. Oh my God, don't remind me of that one. When he was playing at Cagliari under Zeman. Would you risk Sensi getting injured? Yeah, you risk getting Sensi injured every time he plays. So that's the risk with Sensi every time he plays. Darmian, he's been decent so far. Yeah, I'm leaning towards that. Darmian being fresh. Yeah, he's rested and he's been in form. So continue with Darmian. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think that's a good point as well. Give him some minutes at the end of the Sampdoria match if things are going well, or if you're trying to recover the result as well, because we know Dumfries can be a threat going forward. I'd rather have Dumfries in the Champions League. Yeah, I agree. If we struggle to score, I'd like to see Correa come in the second half. Yeah, that's the thing now, guys. We've got such a stacked bench with things are going wrong. We've seen Arturo Vidal seems to have become almost the first choice substitute in midfield for Inzaghi. Against Genoa, he came on. Against Hellas Verona, came on first as well. So, he adds something different from the other midfielders. We've seen that. He's also done something that Conte never used to do, which is take Brozovic off. He took Brozovic off, put Barella a little bit deeper. So we've got much more flexible options as well. And yeah, Correa for sure. If Lautaro is feeling well, bring on Lautaro and Correa in the second half of that little partnership building. We've seen that partnership is already starting to flourish for Argentina in the international break. If you saw, Correa scored a goal where him, Lautaro, and Messi combined, and Correa scored. So you just want to keep building on that. Make sure to build that partnership, continue building that partnership. Dzeko scored a nice goal as well. So Dzeko is definitely, there's no argument about Dzeko starting. He scored a great goal against France. If you haven't looked at it, make sure you have a type in after this stream, Bosnia versus France. If you haven't seen Dzeko's goal from outside the box, really, really nice goal. And that's what, Dzeko can add. Another thing that Lukaku didn't have really, and he can score outside the box, Lukaku, but he only had those types of curlers. But Dzeko, the way he shot those pingers, bottom corner, Lukaku doesn't even try those ones. So yeah, I'm hoping to see those different differentials that Dzeko can add to us. And I'm obviously Sanchez as well. Sanchez apparently is back in training with the team, but I don't think he'll be available for this match. He might be on the bench, but I don't think he will get any minutes. And again, he might be available for Real Madrid, but I don't think we'll see we definitely won't start, and there's no point risking him from the start. I think from next week and so on, we'll start to see Sanchez being integrated into the team, which is another exciting, addition up there. And then even less time for Satriano. I will start. Gerald says he will start Handanovic, Skriniar, De Vrij, Bastoni, Dumfries, Barella, Brozovic, Chala, Di Marco, Sensi, and Dzeko. Yeah, pretty much what I would do. Apart from I would put the Darmian for Dumfries, and yeah, that's it. That's the only change. I'd like to see Hakan play second striker and Sensi left centre mid. Yeah, good point. That's an option as well. I think Hakan probably has got a little bit more physicality to play in that role. Probably, yeah, he's played more attacking roles in his career as well, more than Sensi. So, and we've seen Inzaghi's moved Hakan in that role as well. And within the match, when Sensi does play, that they do seem to swap around as well. It's a very fluid formation, to be honest. Husian says against Sampdoria away, I think that if we're gonna win, it's gonna be an ugly win. Yeah. So now going into my match prediction, pretty much as was Husian said. I think it's going to be. I think the international break hangover. That's always a thing. We always see how players are coming back from flight. They're catching flights from all over the world, coming back. Only have 1 or 2 trainings with the team. They're physically not 100%. Mentally, they're not 100%. They haven't slept really well. Traveling away to Sampdoria, gritty team, fighting hard. Marassi is a very small stadium as always. It's quite an English type stadium where the crowd is very close. It can be quite a tricky match. And D'Aversa is a very pragmatic Italian coach who we don't actually know how good D'Aversa is. So we'll find out this season how good D'Aversa is, because he did really well at Parma. Not last season, the season before he left. But at the same time, he was very lucky that year Kulusevski kind of exploded. They were kind of almost like a one-man team with Kulusevski on the counter. Him and Gervinho used to kill teams on the counter. So that Parma team really relied on those two on the counter and defended deep, deep block defending and counter-attacking. So that's not particularly hard to do. So we'll see how good he really is, D'Aversa. But yeah, his teams usually, defend really well and counter-attack. So we'll see. It will be a difficult match. And it's one of those early kickoffs as well. Early kickoff after the international break. All these types of things are not really, boding well for Inter. Candreva as well on the other team, the ex-player. I remember Audero had an amazing match against us as well last time round. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 Inter win for my match prediction. I wouldn't be surprised that one of our defenders scores, whether it's De Vrij or Skriniar, from a Hakan corner or from a Di Marco corner, and then maybe even Brozovic scoring one, because he scored one for Croatia the weekend, a nice volley goal. Sorry, not the weekend, just a couple of days ago. So I'm going to go for a 2-1. Hard-fought victory. I don't think it's going to be a great match to watch. It'll be nice if what Ahmad says happens, 3-1 victory with Barella scoring from outside the box. Give me some of your predictions, guys, before I leave. As I said, I wouldn't mind Ambrosio starting as well, to give Skriniar a little bit of a rest, because he's played a lot of games. Even Ranocchia for De Vrij. Of course, there's going to be some interesting matches to watch out in the rest of Serie A as well. Juve, Napoli. 2-0 for Inter, unless Handanovic slipping again. Oh, my days. Then if Handanovic makes a mistake and we can see, then we start to really call Inzaghi to make some changes in goal. We'll see. But hopefully not, man. Hopefully not. Scrappy 2-1 win. Freddie agrees with me. Inter to win 4-2. Wow, high scoring Gerard is going for. Ricardo says 2-0 Dzeko and Sensi. Positive. I like another clean sheet. That'll be nice to keep a clean sheet. I'm just seeing like a scrappy goal happening, where some sort of rebound or Candreva getting some sort of lucky deflected goal from far, or as someone said earlier, Ahmad, I think it was Candreva pinger from 30 yards out and Handanovic just watching it go in. Royal Interista 1-0. He's going for. Where am I watching the match? I don't know. Because I'm away, as I said. I'm probably gonna just try to watch it somewhere on my laptop. If I try to find some Wi-Fi, or I might just rewatch it later, and that's why I'm doing my reaction a little bit late as well. And Royal Interista, actually, earlier you made a good point. Let me see if I can find your comment. Where is it? Royal Interista, he made a comment, but there it is. Yeah, so keep an eye out, guys. Socios, they inter-sponsor the cryptocurrency platform. If you're interested to buy the Inter token, they're releasing it tomorrow, so you have to download their app, download the token, buy the token using the Chile's cryptocurrency. I'm probably going to do it, but no, I'm not going to invest much. I'm probably going to buy 1 or 2 tokens just to see, just to experiment with it, just to try it out, because I don't think I think it only costs like $2 each or $3 or $4 each, so they're not too expensive. So I'm gonna, just for the sake of trying it out, because I am interested in these like crypto stuff and things like that, just to try it out. I'm gonna give it a go. And you guys, if you're interested, make sure you remember, because I think they're only available for a limited period of time, and then they stop selling them, and then the only way you can buy them is buying them off the exchange, and I think they get more expensive afterwards. So not sure how it works 100%. So yeah, have a look into it if you're interested. 2-1 Inter win. Eminem Production says, will Lautaro subbing in scoring the winner? Ooh, that would be nice. That would be like a little cherry on top for his contract negotiations. Like, I'm the savior, I'm the main man, so give me my money. 3-2 Inter, Candyman will score, hand a brick up, another shot, Satriano to score the winner. Oh, imagine if Satriano comes in and score, then the whole fan base is going to be asking for Satriano to come in, for sure. Candreva, Caputo, Sensi, Chala, Brozo, Deco. Wow, I don't think it's going to be that high scoring, to be honest. Sampdoria matches are rarely high scoring. The first 2 matches of the season, 1-0 against Milan, where they lost, and then it was 0-0 against Sassuolo, I believe it was. So yeah, and the D'Aversa, I think they're going to be quite a tight ship. I don't see that many goals, to be honest. I can see Andanovic pulling a no jump. Yeah, I mean, it's a guarantee that he's going to do that, but it just depends whether he's going to do it on a shot that's going in, or is it a shot that's going out. I wish Candreva won the Scudetto with us. Yeah. It's I like the guy, but maybe I'm not that much that wish he won the Scudetto with us. But maybe he deserved something. Correa might score again if he comes in. Hey man, the man's on form. Scored with Argentina, scored 2 with us. His scoring ratio at the moment is crazy. It's crazy. Sharma is the German guy. Ginter, good. I'm not actually too familiar with the Ginter. I know he played against us in the Champions League last season, but I've not really watched too much of him, so I'd have to do some research on him. But from what I hear, he would be a decent pickup. Good age, gets in the German national team as well, versatile. So that's the type of profile that I would like, and I would like to see more Germans coming into the Serie A as well. I feel like there's a lack of Germans in the Serie A. They're quite good, athletic, type of players. And I feel like they could fit in the Serie A a little bit more, and they're usually quite cheap compared to other nationalities. Rudiger for free next year. Again, same issue with the Tolisso. Apart from the injuries, he's going to be just expensive. Coming from a Premier League, those guys are on big wages. Unless you're bringing in Rudiger as a starter, which I don't think he is going to be a starter with our centre backs. I need to look into how much he earns, but these Premier League guys, the wages is the big issue. Quick thoughts of Milan, Lazio, Juve, Napoli. Ooh, it's a hard one to call. All of these, Napoli early stages on the Spalletti haven't looked great. Lazio early stages against Sarri have looked great, but they haven't been challenged yet. I'm going for a draw on both matches. Copping out on both matches, I think. 2-2 Milan Lazio and 1-1 for Juve Napoli. I just don't see. Napoli are missing a few players. They're missing Deme, they're missing Lobotka, so that new signing is probably gonna have to start. Juve are missing the South Americans as well, Dybala, Cuadrado. So we'll see. Osimhen's back for Napoli as well, so that might be a big boost. But the Milan Lazio is definitely going to be a good match to watch. Spalletti has a really bad record against Juventus as well in general. I think Patrick Kendrick posted early on today that Spalletti's won one match out of 25 or something against Juve. Is an atrocious record. So yeah, we'll see. I hope Napoli beat Juve for sure, and I hope Lazio beat Milan. But I see both matches ending in a draw. Shout out to Ranieri and Sam for doing the Guard of Honor. Yeah, for sure. Ranieri is a class act. If our financial difficulties continue, I can see us selling Lautaro and getting Belotti on the free next season. Yeah, there's talks of Belotti signing a new contract though, so we'll see. Apparently he's close to agreeing a contract with a 30 million or a 25 million release clause. But yeah, the Lautaro leaving is definitely a possibility, even if he signs a new contract for sure. Atalanta versus Fiorentina, underrated match. Yeah, that's definitely one match to watch. I think that was probably the match to watch, to be fair, because Atalanta have been a little bit underwhelming. Tommy, I think the third case is due to be dropping very soon. I think it should be, because our Champions League campaign starts this week or this coming week, so it should be really dropping this week. So usually is because the third case is supposed to be used in Europe and things. So I'm surprised it hasn't been dropped yet, but I haven't heard any news. But it should be very soon. Roma Sassuolo is going to be a good one as well. Yeah, for sure. No worries, Harry. Chiesa's out for the match. It could be a Napoli win then. It could be a Napoli win if Chiesa's out for sure. Sampdoria, yes, always nice kits for sure. Yeah, Hussein, Viola Atalanta will be a great match to watch. Hope Inter releases the black goalkeeper kit for sale. Yeah, the goalkeeper kits are always hard to get a hold of, and they're usually quite nice. Andanovic's kits last year were quite nice. But yeah, guys, that was my Sampdoria versus Inter match preview. As I said, expect a late match review on match reaction on Sunday because I'm going to be away. So keep an eye out for my channel, like 8 p.m. time, UK time, for the match reaction. I'm sure Anthony on Inter Worldwide is going to do a match reaction on time. Probably he might even do a watch long, so watch out for his channel. But yeah, thank you very much for everyone that's joined. 42 people in this chat right now. Make sure you leave a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe for Inter content, Serie A content. And yeah, hopefully this guy's Milan Skriniar maybe gets a goal. We see a positive match reaction from me after the match. And yeah, guys, as always, Forza Inter. And yeah, if you haven't watched actually my video, quick plug to my video about Beppe Marotta, guys, close to signing a new contract with Inter. Check out my video that I did yesterday talking about Beppe Marotta if you haven't seen it. But yeah, thank you everyone that's joined in. Thank you everyone that's interacted in the chat. Love you guys. Ciao, Forza Inter, ragazzi.